Hey gang, it's me. I haven't seen too many requests yet for clarifications about the case study assignment. If I do get some, I'll certainly make a follow-up, but I did have one student suggest that I make a video just talking about some of the common mistakes from the first case study that you need to correct for this one. So there were a couple of common mistakes, some of which are not really relevant now that we are going to the hourly model and thinking about monthly utility bills. However, some of them still are. The most common mistake was probably in how groups dealt with the tax credit. Most groups recognize that it's a 26% tax credit, but the issue is that it doesn't get applied immediately as a discount on the initial investment. The way that it works is that you pay your taxes for 2020 in 2021, and that's when you get the credit. So that doesn't make a whole lot of a difference. It's just moving the credit back one time period, but that still means that it's going to get discounted by 4% if you've got a 4% discount rate when you bring it back to the present. So it's not quite as large of an impact as we think that it would be if it's applied immediately as a discount to the initial investment. The other common mistakes that are relevant and need to be corrected for phase two generally have to do with the way that you represented the electricity demand. A lot of groups used an average household electricity consumption that you found from some Energy Institute or website online. However, there was no evidence that that average household was listed as 2,400 square feet. So the assignment says we're standardizing the size of the house in each of the locations to be a 2,400 square foot house. And so you need to scale the energy consumption appropriately. Another way that people often did that for some groups was to look at the utility bill from Project Sunroof and use that to reverse engineer what the electricity consumption must be by dividing by the electricity rate in each location. The issue with that is that there wasn't always evidence that the building that you used on Project Sunroof to enter in the utility bill was also 2,400 square feet. Oftentimes it looked like it might be smaller or larger, or you just couldn't tell. So that's something to be mindful of as well, that you want to try and find a data source that can give you something like an average electricity consumption per square foot. That is going to allow you to rescale your electricity consumption to get a base estimate for a 2,400 square foot house in each location. Finally, the last thing that I'll say is that some groups need to just pay more attention to detail and make sure that you're really going through the assignment line by line and making sure that you're picking up all the different assumptions or all of the different pieces of the assignment that need to be included. One common mistake was a number of groups that didn't increase the electricity rate by 2.2% per year in the first assignment. And that's something that also occurs in phase two. So make sure that if you have a deduction for something like that, that it gets corrected. In general, I would say go back to the feedback on Blackboard for your first assignment and make sure that you understand what all the deductions mean. Feel free to reach out to myself or Jingyao if you're not sure what one of them means, if I haven't talked about it in this video. And make sure that either that assumption is addressed as you go forward to phase two, or that it's not relevant to phase two. There are some situations where deductions from phase one are no longer going to show up in phase two because now we're doing something differently. But you want to make sure that either it gets corrected or it doesn't need to be. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Get in touch with Jingyao as you're working on it, and good luck.